Welcome to my YouTube channel, English Remastered. Let us rediscover the intricacies and nuances of the English language and prepare to be amazed. It has been raining cats and dogs. Yes, our next figure of speech is hyperbole, which is basically exaggeration for effect. This is definitely going to be an interesting journey. But let us see the definition. A way of speaking or writing that makes something sound better, more exciting, dangerous, etc., than it really is. I have told you a million times. Hyperbole is a figure of speech that uses extreme intentional exaggeration to emphasize a point, evoke strong emotions, or create humor. It is not intended to be taken literally. It serves to intensify descriptions, making them more vivid or dramatic. So, what are the key aspects of hyperbole? It is a rhetorical device or trope that overstates for effect. Purpose: it is used for humor, emphasizing a point, expressing intense emotion like rage or excitement, or painting a vivid picture. Context: it is common in literature, everyday conversation, advertising, and political rhetoric. We shall now directly come to common everyday examples. There are many, but I shall speak about only those which are supported by images here. I am so hungry I could eat a horse. This bag weighs a ton, means it is very heavy. This homework is a mountain. We continue. I have got tons of money. He is as tall as a tree. And some more. This cake is to die for. She cried a river of tears. Now we see some examples describing emotions and feelings. The boss firing her was a dagger to her soul. I am melting in this heat. We continue. His anger was a volcano. I am scared to death. We come to some examples describing actions and events. She talks a mile a minute. The explosion woke the dead. Finally, we see some examples describing objects and qualities. The snow was whiter than a blank canvas. The furniture is from the Jurassic era. Having seen so many examples, we now come to some key characteristics of hyperbole. Intentional exaggeration. It's a conscious rhetorical device, not a mistake. Emphasis and emotion used to highlight a feeling, idea, or situation, adding intensity. Figurative, not literal. The exaggeration is obvious and not meant to be believed literally. Versatile can be used for serious drama, comic relief, or to express deep admiration, as in love poetry. Let us compare hyperbole versus two other devices. Litotes, the opposite of hyperbole, using deliberate understatement. Metaphor, unlike metaphors, which compare two things, hyperbole purely exaggerates one thing. Hyperbole is derived from the Greek word for excess or a fartho. Hyperbole uses extreme exaggeration for emphasis or effect, all creating vivid, non literal images of intense hunger, repetition, weight, or brightness. Other examples stretch reality to describe emotions, time, size, or quantity. Stopping by woods on a snowy evening. Is this your favorite poem from Robert Frost? A hyperbole is an exaggeration of the truth in order to create an effect. Sometimes that's done in a single statement. Other times it can happen with repetition, like in this famous poem. Read the poem aloud. Notice the effect of the last two lines. The reader feels the tiredness of the weary traveler. And miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Hyperbole in poetry. Hyperbole in poetry is the deliberate, striking exaggeration of a statement for emphasis, effect, or humor, creating strong emotions and memorable images rather than being taken literally. Poets use it to magnify feelings like intense love or despair or ideas, making a point more dynamic and powerful, as seen in Shakespeare's Juliet is the Sun or Auden's Promises of Love Until Impossible Things Happen. We continue for love. I love you, dear, I love you, till China and Africa meet. W.H. Auden in As I Walked Out One Evening. For feeling my backpack weighs a ton. This is a simple example. Or my heart beats for you. 1,000 stampeding bison thundering across the plains. This is Kelly Roper. For drama, she scorched you with her radiance. This is James Tate. We now examine how the nature poet William Wordsworth uses a hyperbole in his poem Daffodils to describe the long row of daffodils he witnessed on his way. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. In a previous video, we have mentioned this poem. Robert Burns, in his poem A Red, Red Rose, uses a hyperbole to express the love for his lass. Till the seas gang dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun. I will love thee still, my dear, while the sands of life shall run. Shakespeare uses hyperbole to convey the intensity of Romeo and Juliet's love for each other. He also uses it to foreshadow the tragic ending of the play. In Act 1, the very first thing Romeo says to Juliet is hyperbole. If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle fine is this: my lips to blushing pilgrims ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss. He compares Juliet's hands to holy shrines. And in Act 3, when Romeo learns that he has been banished from Verona, he says there is no world without Verona walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself. He does not want to leave his home, everyone he knows, and most importantly, his new wife. William Shakespeare makes multiple use of the poetic device of hyperbole in his play Macbeth to describe the extent to which the killing of King Duncan affects Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. Macbeth, will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No, this my hand will rather the multitudinous seas incardine, making the green one red. Act 2, Scene 2. Lady Macbeth hears the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Act 5, Scene 1. Malcolm, this tyrant whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. Act 4, Scene 3. Friends, you are the reason why this video has been created. Are you prepared to be amazed again? If so, we would love to bring more videos for your consumption, each different from the rest. Please subscribe, press the bell icon, like and share. Thank you.